So did you go read his blog? Wasn't it amazing? I was reading it, and the fact that they made that turn just blew my mind. It allowed me time to go to the corner and a little bit around, so that when they came around the corner, I was able to see their faces and then see them walk past me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen their faces. I would have just seen them from the back, and I would have not recognized them. I mean, we could have been this close and not met. And remember how I was telling you about Reed Tracy's face? Now, if you read Nick Ortner's blog, you now know that they made a right turn on 42nd Street in front of my house when they should have gone straight down to the Javits Center, which means he probably was thinking, oh my God, at the same time that I was thinking, oh my God, because he had made that turn without even thinking, unconsciously. And that's exactly how I know that Wayne Dyer was at work in this, because he made him turn. He made him turn on 42nd Street. What I'd like to share with you is that the night before, on the Friday, when I was updating my goals, one of the things that I wrote down was, opportunities and magic come to me with ease and joy. I mean, literally, they came to me. I just wanted to talk a bit about Nick's blog, where he said about my story. He said that I was done with life. And that's actually not exactly accurate, because I wasn't really done with life. I was just so utterly afraid. And I came across Nick Ortner for the first time, and the reason why I'm so grateful to him is because I was at a point in my life where I did not think I could continue living. I was so scared of the situation I was in. I was born in Mexico. I grew up until I was around 19. I was in Mexico City. The mentality was that the man was in charge of the home, of providing for the home. And the woman was in charge of taking care of the home. So my reality was that I grew up with my dad taking care of me, and my mom taking care of the house. And then I got married, and I transferred that obligation subconsciously, or just like that's just the way it was for me, to my husband. And I was married for almost 20 years. And then one day I found myself without a husband. And with my marriage disintegrated. At that point, I felt like I lost everything. And here I was, sitting in a $1 million home, overlooking a beautiful, gorgeous golf course that overlooked the Long Island Sound. And here I was sitting there, having lost everything that I valued, that I thought was my life, and not even being able to turn the heating on because I could not afford it, because I also found myself without a means to support myself. The moment that I felt that I had lost my daughter as well threw me over the edge. Something in me broke. The fear of that situation was just too much. So I did start researching how to use antifreeze, because I was told that it was quick and it tasted like Gatorade. And then something magical happened. Somehow this video of tapping found me. And I have an energy doctor that uses magnets, and I love him. His name's Alex. And he'd shown me this technique before one time. So when I started seeing the video, because it wasn't called tapping then, I knew it as EFT. And then I saw tapping, and I kind of put two and two together. But you have to imagine that at this point, I'm not thinking straight. You know, I want to kill myself. So really, somebody who's in that state is not exactly thinking clearly. So I see that you have to make these statements and go around tapping on the points. And then this other video finds me about the Ho'oponopono prayer. And boy, did I need that, because it was easy. It was, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And there's an explanation about each step, but in that moment, the only thing that I could possibly put together or even come to grips with was, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, like a mantra. And I started tapping, and I put it together. And I kept going through the night until daylight. And then when daylight came, I just kind of knew that I was going to be okay. It took another 2.5 days to actually get to the point where I could actually feel that I could take a little step and something. Yeah, like I could handle staying around. Pretty much, basically, that's it. And but it was that long night that the tapping just allowed me to release all this hurt, all this pain, and all this fear that was just so gripping that made me kept me thinking that I just couldn't go on with my life. So for a long time, when I after, you know, when I see people that are suffering so much and that have gone through so much more than I ever have, I kept feeling ashamed at having gone through this situation and having felt so scared. Because the shame of it, you know, I felt so weak that I had failed. I failed as a wife, I had failed as a mother, and it just felt that way. Now, through the years, I know that it's not the case, and happily and so joyfully, I'm actually elated that I can report back that I never did lose my daughter. It was just a little short period of time. It was like a little blip, but eventually she came back, and I can report that we have an unbelievable, amazing relationship, and I am just goo goo gaga with my girl. So for those of you who might find yourselves in a scary situation, I want to share with you that there's always a way out. And the other thing is that we are so trained to be self-sufficient, to do everything on our own. Especially women, for some reason, we just feel like we can't ask for help anymore because we might be considered weak. God forbid we are seen as weak. Ask for help. Ask for help from the universe. It doesn't even have to be help from another human. But I'm telling you, something that I found out is that when you least expect it, angels show up in the shape of humans. They show up and they give you a hand, and they give you support, or sometimes money, or sometimes a piece of advice, or they'll say a word that just something happens, and it's exactly what you needed to hear in that moment. Just like Nick Ortner showed up in my life and helped me in that moment, because I already knew about EFT, but In that moment, I couldn't think. Nothing made any sense. And all of a sudden, this angel showed up in the shape of Nick Ortner. And I'm still here. So, publicly acknowledging that. Thank you, Nick.